Sometimes, destiny weaves its threads in the most unexpected ways. Two souls, seemingly strangers, cross paths in a world full of billions. Though their lives may have been worlds apart, a sense of familiarity draws them together, a spark ignited by laughter, chance encounters, and conversations that linger. As days turn into months, their bond deepens, shaped by understanding, compassion, and shared dreams. In each other, they find not just a companion, but a home for their heart and soul. So I manifested a man exactly as I described him on a piece of paper. Let's backtrack a little. I had been exposed to the twin flame community haphazardly and started seeing synchronicity numbers like 1111. I had just come out of a toxic relationship and felt I needed time alone for a while. I became increasingly interested in the concept of twin flames and soulmates, and found myself in various beautiful connections that amounted to nothing, and a whole lot of heartbreak. This left me in a lot of pain as I was bunny hopping from one situation to the next in a frenzy of codependent, unmet needs. After one particularly strong encounter with someone that I fully believed was the one, which ended up amounting to nothing, I threw in the towel. I had gone around in circles attempting to hold on to the connection, meditated on it to be rekindled, written 1,000 affirmations and said, I believe, I believe, I believe, 1,000,000 times. Until one day I decided I would refocus all that energy back into myself and remove need. I began taking care of myself and building a twin flame relationship with myself. Eventually, I got to a point where I began to release any expectations. I even set myself a target to remain single for a certain period of time, even if said person was to return, as I had really begun enjoying my relationship with myself so much. I did get quite intentional about welcoming my soulmate home, though. I had made space in my wardrobe and bought some men's slippers with the knowledge that he would come home. I then kind of forgot about my actions as the weeks went by. One day during my contemplative sessions, I decided to write a husband criteria list for fun. I took note of the physical appearance, spiritual, family, and personal traits I felt were important to me in relationships. I used this husband list as a tool to continue building my relationship with myself by ensuring I could best fulfill the traits on this paper myself. I began getting inundated with 2022 and 1010 numbers everywhere. To cut the long story short, about 3 weeks after I made that list, I met the literal man of my dreams. Funnily enough, because I had become self-fulfilled, I didn't feel this need to hold on to the relationship so tightly because I didn't feel like I lacked anything without it. That initially came off quite dismissive, until I released the fear of self-sabotaging. Anyway, when I say he fit the list to a T, I mean it. I would say there is one trait I wrote that didn't cut it, but the replacement trait was so much better. I was and still am occasionally shocked as he continues to baffle me with his brilliance. We make jokes about the criteria because on first read he already knew, so it was, according to him, very sweet to manifest him. Also, he is the amalgamation of all the good past relationships I always wrote about in my gratitude journals. So all in all, the biggest takeaways I realized for anything I intend to manifest into my life are: 1. Become complete in myself. Find ways to fulfill myself before trying to manifest something to fill a hole. That action makes it easier to release attachment to these things, which is super important in manifesting. 2. Open myself up to something unexpected. I know I will come across something that I think is perfect and don't want to let go of, but I occasionally lack the bird's-eye view of everything else that is available to me. It's not always as good as it gets. 3. When people say the universe gives you something for your highest good, or something that may not be exactly what you asked for, I don't panic and think the universe is going to cut me short. I have yet to experience a positive manifestation where I have felt shortchanged. There is a lot of creativity to be explored in manifestation, so I'm glad about that. 4. Get distracted. Once I put in my manifestation efforts, I worked on myself. I learned to get a hobby, get busy, and be occupied elsewhere. That was when I found that what I wanted pops up out of nowhere.